I wish I could tell you this iceberg wasn't tiny, cold, barren, basically nothing usable to survive more than a couple of days. There's no wood, there's no saplings, there's no crops or animals or food of any kind. I honestly feel sorry for the suckers who have to stay here for an extended period of time. Oh god damn it! That's right lads, this is the story about how we survived 100 days in hardcore Minecraft, except on a frozen iceberg. Don't forget to subscribe to get me to 100k by the end of the year, and 3k likes will do 200 days. Right, let's go. Swimming to the iceberg for the first time, we had a quick look around and, well, nothing. There are a couple of hidden chests that have the likes of a stone pickaxe, a Respiration 2 helmet, and a fishing rod, and, well, honestly, that's it. There's a cactus in the ice. That's quite nice. I'll take this time just to go over a couple of goals we had for this 100 days. We wanted to get into the Nether and get full netherite armor. We wanted to kill 2 withers at the same time. We need to get enchants and everything, and pretty much it's a standard goal set, except there is no ender dragon to fight. So everything you can think of doing, we want to do, except the ender dragon. There was a lava pool underneath the iceberg that I tried to get access to during the night. Tried being the key word because I desperately tried to make sure the water wouldn't pouring and it would all turn to obsidian. I mean, that would never happen, right? You may have noticed the beacons in the distance, and we did as well. So on day 2, we head towards them, and it turns out this is a nice little underwater area. We did it, guys. We found the lost city of Atlantis. Oh, this is actually Atlantis. Welcome to the lost city of blah, 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 blah. Okay, listen, it gives you nothing. It tells you there's a teleporter at the top, and honestly, that's it. This text was completely unnecessary. Since this was all, you know, like underwater and stuff, we couldn't stay down here for too long. We was able to find a couple of chests. One had a couple of saplings in, and one had a bit of dirt in. Just enough to start the basics. It would be quite nice to get us moving in this world. And then we headed back up, where for the night we hunkered down. It is worth mentioning during this time as well, we actually got 2 iron ingots from zombies, which is quite lucky actually. Okay, if I just punch and then go down, they can't get me. I'm on 1 heart. Nom, 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 nom. Day 3, we started getting our first trees. We had quite a few bones, so bone meal was used for insta growth. We now had wood. It only took 3 days. Atlantis did have a few crops which we yabba dabba yoinked. Well, I did. Austin was fishing, pretty much just what he did all day. We were still bedless though, so unfortunately we had to wait out the night in our nice little ice bunker. And when the sun rose on day 4, oh! Well, we had food, crops, it honestly wasn't a lot, but the good news is we weren't going to die. I was working on those crops using the bone meal that I had to basically extend it as much as possible. And what did Austin do during this time? You guessed it, fished. Also, phantoms are scary, so we had to wait out the night again. However, we did get a 3rd iron ingot. For the record, that has like a less than 2% chance of happening. It happened 3 times for us. I ain't complaining. I ain't complaining at all. Now that we had 3 iron, we had a very quick discussion and decided the best thing to make with the iron was, of course, a bucket. In the iceberg down below, there is a single lava pool. Enough for me to go down there, grab some lava, and then use the rest later to make some obsidian. We just have to use the bucket method, and we could pretty much go straight into the Nether. Well, at least that was the plan. Oh my god. Please don't be angry.
What did you just
Please
do?
don't be angry.
What did you just do, Daniel?
I turned all the lava to obsidian.
Daniel.
No, I'm sorry. I promise. I forgot that the ice does the. I'm sorry.
Why would...
I don't want to talk about it. Ever. At least I was able to make a cobblestone generator that day. I was mining some cobblestone as usual. Austin was, well, do I even need to say at this point? After waiting out the night on day 6, I made a base. Yeah, if you want to call it that. It was just so we had a good place to put our storage in. And then on the night, we finally got enough string to make 2 beds. It only took 6 days. I'm not going to complain about that in the slightest. I got back to cobblestone grinding on day 7 when, Austin made a discovery. Turns out in Atlantis, there's some spawn eggs for some animals. And guess which animals are on that list? Which means that if we just looked better, when we first went down there, we didn't have to spend every single night hiding away from every mob on the stupid goddamn iceberg! And that's how we ended day 7. On day 8, well, let me explain that. When Austin went down to Atlantis to find the spawn eggs, there was 4 eggs, 2 pigs, 2 cows, 2 chickens, and 2 horses. And during the time that Austin was fishing, Austin found himself a name tag. We had 2 horses. We both wanted to name our horse, but we only had 1 name tag. And so we set up a game of bullseye. Basically, we made a giant bullseye, and the first person to hit the bullseye, you know, gets the name tag. Simple as that. Okay. First person to hit that item frame, gets the name tag. I'll let you go first.
Alright. Alright, sounds good.
Cool. Just gonna go grind some cobble for a bit, I guess. I lost. I don't want to talk about it. I'm just gonna grind my cobble. Screw this game. On day 9, it was Austin's turn to grab some cobblestone whilst I made some animal farms. We didn't have a lot of wood, but it was enough for me to easily be able to pen up all the animals in their own separate pens. We are running out of space on the dirt, but we'll figure something out. Didn't help that on day 10, Austin killed one too many cows.
I made a mistake.
It's always a good start. What'd you do?
There's only one cow. Someone must have... I don't know who it was, but there's only one cow here. Was it you, Dan?
Out of all of it, it had to be the cow.
Dan, I watched him. He just he sat there and just...
Dude, why? Just think it's probably best that I deal with the animals myself, making a casual little no Austin zone. Also, this was the day that Austin got a second name tag.
You want a name tag?
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't, did you? He burnt it out of anger when I told him he wasn't allowed to go near the animals, the son of a... So 10 days in and we're having a great time. On day 11, we made our mob grinder. Well, Austin started it. It was my job to just keep grinding cobble whilst Austin was going to work on the mob grinder itself. This pretty much continued until the end of day 12. Now we can just grind more. Anybody getting Skyblock flashbacks, or is that just me? Went back to expanding the farms on day 13. Austin was grinding some cobble and I wanted some cobble myself, so I decided it'd be quite smart to make a two-sided cobblestone generator. There you go.
Where's the lava? Dan! Dan! I wish I did this single player. Why didn't I do that? He's gone. Thank God. It's single player now. I'm screwed. I have no lava.
I'm so sorry. Again, I don't want to talk. These things happen. I don't want to talk about it. It was day 14 that I decided to set up a cactus farm. Green, apparently, I wanted. It was actually one of the challenges for this map. I should have mentioned there's a couple of challenges set for this map, and one of them was to set up a cactus farm. Austin used the other saplings that we got to get some more trees, and then headed back down to Atlanta to get some dirt. Me, I was fishing. I wanted my name tag, since Austin was just going to destroy them then. I'm going to get one myself. Especially with freaking wall swap tomorrow. Oh my god. I still have to Ow! I just got hit by lightning.
Did you actually?
I just got hit by lightning. Austin was doing stuff about expanding the dirt island. Who cares about that? I was still fishing. I wanted that name tag. I wanted to name my horse. I also made a campfire this day, and I was able to quickly cook the fish. I know we don't necessarily need food, but I may as well have some reward for all the fish that I'm catching. I got my name tag on day 16, and Austin bred the animals and stuff. I don't know what he was up to that day. We was taking a personal break away from each other because of all the yelling and stuff. You know how it is. On day 17, we got together and went back to Atlantis. Since the first time when we missed the spawn animals and everything, we just wanted to make sure we didn't miss anything else. And it's really good that we checked, because we missed vines. I know, like, what would we have done if we didn't get these vines? My god. We then had some discussions about potentially getting the villagers back to the iceberg, but there wasn't really any safe way for us to do that. The ultimate plan that we made is that if we can get some soul sand, but the only way to get soul sand is in the Nether, and we need a diamond pickaxe to do that because somebody turned all the lava into obsidian. It's not. Listen, we shouldn't blame anybody. Let's not blame anybody, but that's kind of what happened. It was on day 18 we expanded the island just a tiny bit, just a nice platform for us to stand on when well, we kind of used the last of our cobble to do that, and with no lava source, kind of stuck. And so we knew that our new building resource was wood, and so we started chopping down trees and replanting them for the environment, of course. On day 19, we decided to make what we call the wooded village. Basically, when we do get the villagers up to the top of the water and get them back to the iceberg, we want them to have a nice place to live. And so we made this giant area, basically going to make some wooden houses, and there you go, we're going to have good stuff like that. It took us a few days to cover. By day 25, we had the wooded village complete. We was also able to make a bunch of beds for them, and so when we do get them in there and when we do want to start breeding, it's going to be quite nice for us. And to celebrate the completion of the village on day 26, we just did some fishing. I mean, listen, you got to do some work here to survive, but you got to take a nice fishing break with the boys. That's my tip for you, for Havenhand's tip for surviving 100 days, fish with the boys. The next goal was, well, the Nether. However, we can't go to the Nether with our diamond pickaxe, and so the goal was to get a toolsmith villager, and so we started getting the villagers into the houses and began the trading process. Many trades later, it was day 32 where we finally got our diamond pickaxe trade. Okay, this is kind of rude. In the script, Austin wrote down this day, headed over to the old lava pool that Bingus destroyed. I don't appreciate being called Bingus. We make the Nether portal, but we're not going to go in just yet. We want to keep our inventories clean. We want to make sure everything is good to go. But little did we know that that was going to be one of the biggest mistakes of our lives. We'll see in a second. We entered the Nether with next to nothing, to be honest with you. We didn't really have any armor set up, so we had to take this slowly. And this is where the disaster happened. So what happened, as soon as we entered the Nether, a ghast destroyed the portal, which is not a problem. However, as I mentioned, we just cleaned out our inventories. I don't think I've got enough food here, I'm going to be honest with you.
You don't have enough food?
No.
Alright,
Relight the portal, I'll quickly go back
yeah.
We'll do the thing. Get some food, Rooney. Actually, I'll bring a campfire, I think that's a good idea.
Daniel, I don't have the flint and steel.
Behind you. So you don't have the flint and steel?
I don't have the flint and steel.
Why don't you have the flint and steel?
There is a slight possibility that I put it in a chest.
Now, admittedly, I wasn't too worried at this point, because we could just use the wood technique to burn it like you do in Skyblock to blight the Nether portal. However, that also went wrong, and again, you'll see why in a second. We decided the best way to get armor is to use the gold nuggets in the walls to make gold armor. I'm not kidding, that's kind of what we did for the next couple of days. We did find a bastion on day 37, and I may have missed this out of the goals and everything, but is it a 100 days video with Havenham without him trying to get pigstep woo? Is it really? The only problem is that I didn't want to go in there and die 30 days in because, well, my gold armor was only going to take, like, what, 2 hits from a brute, and I wasn't about that life. And then on 38, we mined some more gold with the idea that we was going to mine gold for a beacon. Now, mining nuggets for a beacon is the worst thing I've ever done in my entire life. This whole experience was just a terrible time. I shouldn't be dissing it that much. I mean, it was content at the end of the day, and we all love content. We did find our fortress on day 39. The chests have never been so important, getting just a couple of basic like iron and gold and whatnot. And of course, we was able to kill a few blazers. And with that all completed on day 39, I asked Austin a very simple question. Okay, where is the portal at? I only have 2 food. Oh, I'm up here, sorry.
I've only got 4. Gotta get home.
Yeah, which way?
That's what. Thought you knew the coordinates.
Neither of us took a screenshot of the portal, did we?
No.
How did neither of us take a picture of the portal? I'd like to let the recorders know at home, it is currently 2 AM. We're supposed to be done after this. And so now we was in the Nether, with only gold armor, with no Nether portal, no flint and steel, no nothing, and we're just sort of stuck. This led to another yelling contest where who was to blame? It was definitely Austin. And so we made the decision to try and find a broken Nether portal. This is how desperate we are. We just can't do this anymore. At least we can spend this time mining some more gold nuggets for the eventual beacon we have to do. It's been a long 40 days. It's been a long time. This pretty much was just a highlight reel. We found broken Nether portals, mined the obsidian that we could. We only needed another Nether portal and we'd be complete. And day 44, when we found the last broken portal, with the obsidian we had, we was able to leave. Daniel! What? I found pigstep! Woo! Except, yet again, we had another problem. We spawned in the middle of the ocean, and we did not know where the iceberg was. And so, despite the fact we were finally out of the Nether, we didn't know where we was, so basically, we were screwed beyond screwed.
How far out are we? Oh my god, we are 39,000 blocks away.
It might be better for us to just go back in the Nether and move. I don't know, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know where our base is. I don't know where the iceberg is. But we go back in the Nether, we move it closer to 0-0 because swinging 39,000 blocks is insane.
Yeah, that's not worth it. Okay, okay, we'll mine the obsidian in the Nether. Okay.
Yeah. The idea was that more than likely the Iceberg in Atlantis was going to be around 0-0, so we both headed there. It was quite a swim. I mean, there's not really much I could say about this other than just we swam for a day. Once we did get to 0-0 though, the kind of plan was to just circle around the 1,000 by 1,000 coordinates and just see if we could find anything. We were that desperate. It is worth mentioning that the world that we used is actually a custom survival map. This entire world is an ocean apart from one iceberg in Atlantis. So we could swim for thousands of blocks and not find anything. So we don't know exactly where this is. We're just banking on the fact it's hopefully near 0-0 somewhere. And luckily it was. Day 48, I finally found the iceberg again. I get back home, dry off, warm up, and I tell Austin that, listen, this is where it is, come to me. He's a bit away out, so he's gonna have to swim back to us, but, man, I never ever wanted to experience that again. That was awful. On day 49, it's time to get the villagers. If somebody didn't forget to get soul sand, again, no, not blaming anybody. Let's not blame anybody. Let's not do that. And so I quickly pop back into the Nether to get some soul sand. I also take this time to re-get a lava bucket since, you know, I've kind of lost our cobblestone generator, so 2 birds, 1 stone. And it was day 50 where we set up the soul sand at the bottom of the ocean. Oh, please don't. Oh, totally just didn't drown a villager, by the way.
Oh my god, you were just making this so painful.
It already is painful. Now it's the problem. Now that one villager is dead. We get the villagers to the surface, boat them over to the wooden village, and would you look at that, we got them all in there by day 51. Things are finally starting to look up for us. It only took half the survival to do so. And once we got that all sorted and the breeding all set up, we began trading by day 52 because we need to get some emeralds, and we also need to get some top tier, gear from the villagers. 55, we got diamond tools. We took a break on day 56 to go fishing, and then on day 57, we got full diamond armor. I'm blazing through it now because trading is not the most entertaining thing to watch. On day 58, we had a level 30 full enchanter setup, and thanks to all the levels that was saved up over the time of surviving in this world, we was able to disenchant all the basic armor that was there, and make full, strong, enchanted gear, enchanted tools, and for the first time, we actually felt like we could take more than 2 shots from a skeleton. Unfortunately, the one thing we did want, which was looting, we just really failed to get. We also failed on day 59. We did get a looting sword on day 60, which we'll store for later, and then it was time for us to go mining to get some ancient debris. Into the Nether by day 61, mining away by day 62, and by day 69... Nice. We had all the ancient debris that we needed. We headed home, and the plan was to make some full netherite, get it on that looting sword, and then go to the Nether to get some wither skulls to do our 2 versus 2 wither fight. The only question was, where was the looting sword?
Yeah.
Where did you put the looting sword?
And you were the one that got the looting sword. I wouldn't have touched it.
No, I'm sure I gave it to you. Well, what the freaking hell is it then?
Oh my god, did you actually lose the sword? I thought you were joking.
I'm sure I gave it to you.
You did not give me the sword.
I'm sure I did. Well, I mean, we'll still get 7, but what I'm going to do with my 7th, I don't know. I have to cut through so much for it. Are you sure? Are you sure that you don't have it?
You did not give it to me.
I'm so confused then. This is not a big island. How do you lose a sword? And on day 70, with no looting sword, I decided, you know what? I'm just going to go and do some wither skull fights anyway. Austin went home because he was going to make a cool ice cave, whatever that means. And, well, that pretty much is how we spent most of the rest of the time in this world. I mean, doing this with looting 2 or even looting 3, it makes this a lot faster than it probably would have been. However, 18 days later, you heard me, I got my 12th wither skull, enough for 2 withers, grabbed some soul sand and headed back home. Austin still wasn't finished with the ice cave, and so on day 90 I decided to make a couple of potions. You can never be too safe when you do a wither fight. And then I started grinding for some cobble once I was done on day 91. Austin completed his build by day 92, and I've got to say, looks pretty damn good. But enough gawking at Austin's cool house, we have to make a wither platform. Just a nice little cobblestone platform in the middle of the water. just so we could fight the withers on there with, you know, little to no problems. The wither platform was completed on day 94, and on day 95, we did the 2 versus 2 wither fight, and honestly, really wasn't that much of an issue. We could have made the platform a bit bigger, but other than that, I really don't think we struggled that much. I mean, we do have full enchanted netherite gear and tools, and even our bows ain't something to laugh at. We were dominating these guys. That was all completed by day 95. On day 96, we had to head back into the Nether just to grab a little bit of obsidian, and then we had to sacrifice some glass, but we did make the beacons, not a problem at all. Also, thanks to all the gold nuggets we mined and everything, we finally got the beacons made. And then on day 97, I just fished. Nice relaxing day. I don't know what Austin was doing. Apparently, he said BRB got a bomb the place, whatever that meant. But, yeah, that's about it. He did join me on day 98, though, for some fishing. Quite nice. And then on day 99, we did some pig step. Woo! And then on day 100, we looked over at the world that we completed. And, what in the world is that?
Who's that?
Is that Marvin?
Is that someone swimming? Is that Marvin?
What's Marvin doing?
Why did you guys invite me?
What do you mean?
What do you... You've been spending all these days.
Oh.
Where was my invite?
We didn't invite Marvin.
We forgot. Oops.
Where was my invite?
No loose ends. No loose ends.
Oh, wait, what do you... Oh, no.
Get him. Get him. Get him. Get him.